At 6:26 a.m. on the East Coast. Happy Monday morning. Don't get up unless you have to. David Ignatius, you're up, so I can ask you and Richard Haas this question. Steve, so Steve Witkoff went to Moscow. He talked to Vladimir Putin for 3 hours. He came back. He briefed European allies, and apparently he did not take notes that he could read because nobody knows exactly what went on at that meeting. Can you clarify?
I wish I could, Joe. And the problem with Witkoff is this peripatetic ambassador jetting off to the Middle East, to Russia, is that he conducts his business in an ad hoc, improvised way. He doesn't often take CIA briefers to prepare him. He often doesn't take his own translator. He doesn't take a note taker. I mean, we forget that successful peace negotiations, and Richard Haas was talking about his own role in them during his diplomatic career, require a lot of work and follow-up. I mean, you don't just snap your fingers and say, "Okay, boys, let's end this." It requires systematic negotiation. And Witkoff hasn't done that. The fact that there's so much confusion about what the heck Trump is talking about land swaps, nobody can quite figure out. You can see what land Russia wants, but what Ukraine is going to get in the process is a mystery that comes out of Witkoff's unscripted meetings. So one thing I would just note, I'd be curious about Richard's view of this. We're now entering a phase in which it's going to be Europe that's going to be really the protector of Ukraine's future sovereignty. J.D. Vance, our vice president, said it clearly. We're out of the business of supporting Ukraine with weapons. We'll sell weapons to Europe to give to Ukraine, but it's Europe that's going to backstop Kyiv in the future. And the Europeans seem pretty serious about it. So I think that's one thing for Trump to remember. He may try to end this war on Friday with Putin, but that doesn't mean he's got the Europeans on side. They may well want to continue it, as Zelensky may want to continue it.
No, absolutely. And one of the things we have to think about, if you were to imagine a peace agreement of some sorts, a ceasefire with the Russians, that can't be the end of it. Russia's not going to stand down its industry. It's not going to stand down its military preparations. The last thing in the world anyone should want is what comes out of Alaska or follow-on meetings is a pause, only for renewed Russian aggression. So there have to be mechanisms for long-term support for Ukraine, and not simply, security guarantees, as important as those are. There's also got to be a massive flow of military and intelligence support for Ukraine, because the Russian threat is only going to grow over time because Russia has a war economy. And again, I don't see anyone thinking about this. This is not, even if this is quote unquote successful, and I'm nervous about the definition of success here, that's not the end of it. It simply basically puts a long-term crisis on a very different footing.
Well, and Mika, the past is always prologue. If you're the Ukrainians, you remember giving up your nuclear weapons in exchange for guarantees of territorial sovereignty. And even after that happened, Putin went in 2014 and took Crimea, invaded Ukraine, and the whole world's basically told it to move along. So that's why they're not going to just give Vladimir Putin whatever he wants, especially since Putin got pushed back and Russian troops got pushed back so hard during this so-called summer offensive.
Exactly. We'll be following this. We're going to move to Israel now, where